The Department of Environmental Quality came in a number of years ago and basically said to us, put us under what is called a consent order, which means that we had a problem with our sewer lines. We were overloading our sewer plant.
Every clay tile joint that we've dug up has cracks in it. So anywhere you have cracks, you have infiltration.
That stuff, over time, it just the elements break it down, chemicals in the soil, just time itself will cause it to crack or decay, and then it allows tree roots and other things to come into it and clog the pipes. It'll actually just collapse over time.
The city of Ada discovered it was time to replace the old sewer pipe when heavy storms started to create an unexpected burden at the sewer plant.
The original thing that happened with the city was that because of the amount of infiltration we were getting into the sewer lines, storm water was coming in through cracks and where we had root systems coming into the sewer lines. And because of the amount of infiltration of stormwater in a heavy rain season, we would get such an overload at the water treatment plant, at the sewer treatment plant, that it was throwing everything out of kilter out there. Because we had such an influx of stormwater that it really wasn't sewage we were necessarily treating, it was a combination.
The city has always maintained its sewer lines, replacing them whenever necessary, but stormwater infiltration ultimately prompted a reevaluation of methodology. The more traditional means of pipe replacement were effective, but slow.
We would excavate the whole alley and dig from one end to the other, so you had to haul off all of your excavated material, and then once the sewer line was laid, then you had to haul backfill material, which normally was rock, back into the alley, which is pretty time consuming. When we were just excavating an alley, it may take, between 2 and 3 weeks to excavate that alley, and I'm saying approximately a 400-foot alley.
Pipe bursting is a relatively new technology that enables line maintenance crews to streamline the work process.
Pipe bursting is a process where the line crews go out and do excavation at each end of an existing sewer line, and they do some flushing and they do camera work to check the condition of the line, and then eventually a sleeve can be placed right inside of the existing line. So we're not out there having to do excavation, dig up entire alleys and dig up streets and have to haul all that material away. We're actually able to do it in a much less expensive way. Well,
in normal procedures as far as pipe bursting, what you've got is a continuous joint of polyethylene pipe, which is all fused together. And once this process is done, we go through a block and we excavate out the sewer taps that come into the sewer main, and from there we simply run a winch through the sewer line and then connect to the continuous joint of polyethylene, and it's a pipe bursting procedure, which you've got a cable that is a 8 or 10 ton winch that is pulling along with a bursting head, and it pulls the polyethylene pipe into the old clay tile line, and from there all we have to do is just drill new holes and tie the sewer line back in.
One of the reasons pipe bursting is so efficient is because of the camera, which is fed into a flushed sewer pipe before the line maintenance crew arrives. The camera takes a video record of the pipe's condition, revealing not only the exact location of the taps, but also potentially problematic areas.
But before the sewer construction crew can even do their work, we have the camera crew, or flushing crew, whichever you want to call them. They come in first. They'll flush the clay tile lines out in that particular block, and then once that's flushed, then they send the camera up the sewer line to measure and mark the service connections, and once that's done, then they can mark them on the ground so the construction crew knows where to dig.
The only place they have to excavate is at each end and then at each tap. And by running the camera through there, the equipment is so sophisticated they can spot exactly to the inch where each tap is, and then so the equipment operator knows exactly where to dig to locate that tap. But now with this camera mechanism that we have that actually goes down and looks inside this pipe all the way from one end to the other before they begin, we can spot problems that are happening where there may be a problem with a bad tap. There may be a clog that we know that the only way to get that thing out would be to do some excavation to get to it. And it's just, the new equipment has just brought us into this century. Before, it was very difficult for them. You know, they did the best that they could, but they had to guess what was wrong down there. Now with the new camera equipment, we can actually see what's there before we dig into it.
Pipe bursting has made a tremendous difference in terms of completing a project. Line replacement used to take several weeks, but thanks to the technology, it now takes a fraction of the time.
You don't have to excavate the whole alley. All you have to do is dig up the service connections, and so it's a lot less material hauled off and a lot less material hauled back in. And now with the pipe bursting procedure, we excavate 1 week and then we can pipe burst the next. Once an alley, approximately a 400-foot alley, is ready to pipe burst, then the pipe bursting procedure itself only lasts about an hour and a half.
A pipe bursting crew of between 8 and 10 people install approximately 1,000 feet of polyethylene pipe each month. The joints of this new pipe are fused together in order to halt future infiltration. So far, more than 25,000 feet of old clay sewer pipe has been replaced with the new line. Crews have been working in Ada's southwest quadrant, but plans call for old pipes to be replaced citywide.
So we're progressing, but when you look at the overall amount of sewer lines that we have to do, and I don't know how many miles that is, but we're probably talking in excess of 15 years to do the whole process, you know, to really, if we had to go in and replace every one. And some of them are probably newer and may not need replacement, but that means that we will go through each of these lines and evaluate it and see if it needs pipe bursting.
Pipe bursting has allowed line maintenance crews to do more in less time, and the positive effects are already being felt at the sewer plant.
That's one of the good things about this. As the lines are replaced, the sewer treatment plant is going to run much more efficiently. We'll have less cost of electricity at that plant, also lots of fewer chemicals having to be used to retreat what's coming in there.
We've even had a chance to talk to the ones that operate the sewer plant, and since we've been doing it just the 2.5 years or so that we've been pipe bursting, the sewer plant has been able to tell a tremendous difference when on rainfall.
Our crews have been great at learning something that's been a whole new process for them. In the past, we did it like all other cities did it, and that was to dig everything up, dig all the way down, pull it out, and start all over. And this crew, David Ellis and his crew, have just really done a fantastic job of getting in there and being patient and learning this technology and making sure that, that our citizens are getting the very best that we can get for the amount of money.